Part 1. Archangel Michael declares that you have just committed an act so profoundly divine that heaven was forced to answer with a miracle. I encourage you to read this message right away, my loving kid. An unforeseen occurrence transpired at the exact moment you made that silent decision within your heart. Heaven did take note. I was in attendance. In that instant, I observed the purity of your spirit. It wasn't for selfish gain or public recognition. Rather, your spirit sensed God's gentle nudging deep within. That precious event marked an irreversible spiritual metamorphosis. In essence, you have created a portal, and as I speak, a miracle is being sent from the throne of heaven bearing your name. I encourage you not to undervalue the significance of your actions. This wasn't a minor infraction. It was completely divine. Furthermore, if you truly believe in this miracle and the divine hand at work in your life, loving this video now will begin the flow of God's favor in your life. Your name has recently echoed throughout the dimensions, which is why you are now hearing this message. Please don't overlook this. I was tasked with notifying you of an extraordinary incident that is currently occurring in your life. Conversely, if you delay or disregard this, you will inadvertently shut the door that you have just opened. That is why I sincerely request that you remain in this spot. Seize each syllable, for it is housed in light and guarded by breathtaking splendor. As my darling kid, I understand that you have many questions. I understand that you are in deep anguish from anticipation. Nonetheless, I feel forced to reveal the unvarnished reality. Your pain was never meant to be a form of retaliation. Rather, the preparation was painstaking. The same sorrow that drove you to weep alone at night. Betrayals that caused your emotions to shatter. The losses that left you feeling abandoned. Heaven studied each individual, and God never forgot. He purposely withheld his reaction to avoid theft, contempt, or loss of the item you are about to get. You have passed a test that was unnoticeable to humans, but perfectly visible to heaven. As a result, your name was inscribed on a sacrosanct scroll that I am the only one who is allowed to touch today. Upon witnessing it, I grieved. I was saddened because you persisted in the face of an insurmountable burden. I wept because you remained compassionate, despite having every reason to be bitter. I was saddened because your miracle, for which you had prayed, was about to be delivered. Declare you're ready to accept the treasures that heaven has bestowed on you at this time. Please enter the letter M in the notes area so that the final seal can be unlocked by your statement. You simply do not realize how serious the situation is. However, you will, and very soon, my little kid. I encourage you to take a moment to absorb the substance of the information I'm currently presenting. As you absorb these words, heaven is divinely prompting an entirely unexpected individual to enter your existence. This individual may not even understand why they are attracted to you, despite the fact that they possess the very answer you have been seeking so urgently. However, it is a direct result of the divine action you have just executed. You took a precise action that triggered a significant chain of events. You broke a cycle that had existed for generations. You have broken free from a pattern that had previously shackled you, and I have been directly directed to communicate this reality. Your destiny is unfolding at an unparalleled rate, exceeding the expectations of everyone in your neighborhood. They may mock and have misgivings, but they will soon deliver witness. Your periods of reticence were a source of fortitude. Your compassionate nature was a powerful weapon. And your most recent decision has ignited a supernatural outpouring that will affect your identity, your home, your financial situation, and your entire future. Please resist from leaving at this important moment. It was specifically selected for you, my beloved offspring. Heaven asks that I communicate a quiet murmur right to your heart. It is not a coincidence that you are reading this. No, this specific moment indicates divine alignment. You were directed here by God because He wanted you to know that your most recent action, whether it was an act of mercy, a quiet supplication, a turning away from transgression, or simply forgiving someone who caused you grief, had a profound impact in the highest spiritual realms. It's conceivable you were unaware of its great potency. You may have questioned its relevance. However, I, Archangel Michael, was there. I was quite interested in the time when paradise was suddenly suspended. And by paused, I mean that the divine court of God directed its gaze toward you, and the angels came to a silent cessation. Your actions had a great influence. A spiritual passage has been opened after being sealed for endless years. You are the sole cause of all of this, which is the result of a single heavenly decision. Please do not pass up this opportunity. Please remain with me, my beloved, my offspring. This surpasses mundane blessings. This is a significant reversal. The item that was wrongfully confiscated from you is presently in transit and on its way back. The previously postponed item is now being released. The goods that were locked up are now being unlocked. Your name is being utilized to make a decree with great force. Additionally, paradise is not in search of human authorization. It is being carried out without delay. Nevertheless, I must exhort you to act with the utmost urgency if you disengage, if you falter, or if you succumb to doubt once more. The adversary will take advantage of this opportunity to seize what was intended for your possession tonight, since they believe it is not for you. This is not an attempt to create dread. This is the irrefutable truth. Observe. The adversary is entirely terrified of the impending threat. When you rise, you are not experiencing an isolated occurrence. Your extraordinary work will illuminate the path for many others. And this is exactly what the darkness fears. As a result, you must protect your essence right now. It is imperative that you firmly establish your faith, as the spiritual significance of the next 24 hours is far beyond your current understanding. You're also right in the middle of everything. Please pay attention to the sensation in your chest right now, my beloved kid. That is not just an emotion. It is a profound affirmation. The spiritual perception that God has imparted inside you has been ignited at this very time. The purpose for which you have been chosen will not only bring you blessings, but also bring about generational transformation. This explains why your path has been so challenging. This is why you have been singled out since adolescence. This is because your name contains a sacred ingredient. Your life is saturated with divine anointing, and your most recent action, regardless of its apparent significance, has opened the door to an old promise God made about your destiny. A pledge that includes divinely appointed relationships, total restoration, vindication, and abundance. In addition, I need your full appreciation for the following portion. Heaven is already in motion. The mechanisms of breakthrough have started to spin. Your period of delay has concluded, and your miracle is not merely on the horizon. It's already been delivered. The only thing left is for you to align completely. If you are now reading this and it resonates with you on a deep level, please do not hesitate. Subscribe today to stay connected to these amazing affirmations. These messages are not intended for all individuals. However, if your spirit consistently returns to this location, it suggests that a part of you has been spiritually awakened and chosen. Maintain your alignment. Stay vigilant. Maintain your readiness, my dear offspring. Ours, and to guarantee that you fully embrace your destiny, Subscribing to this channel will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life, providing you with guidance at every turn. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Each gift you offer is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and you will receive. It is not just a verse dedicated to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd want to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened by the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. To the second phase, my dear youngster. I am obligated to communicate a sacred truth that only a small number of individuals can comprehend. The spiritual activity you just made did not only move you closer to your miracle, it brought your miracle closer to the earthly realm. What was once considered divine potential has now begun to emerge physically. I observed it with complete clarity. A long sealed scroll was shown to me. Your name was prominently displayed near the top. Prayers that you had previously considered outmoded were also present. However, God is immune to amnesia. You grieved quietly with each syllable. Each whisper in the darkness is silenced. You were unable to express every poignant moan. Everything was meticulously preserved and stored in the light. And now, heaven announced its. Indeed, the response is currently being revealed. Not only through spoken communication, but also through physical movements. Time will soon appear to be at a halt. A divine confirmation will emerge at that exact moment. Regardless of whether it occurs as a dream, a message, a call, or an open door. You will unmistakably recognize it when it occurs. And when it does, be unwavering. Proudly traverse it. You will not be necessary to apply any pressure. It will be unnecessary for you to inquire about its authenticity. The profound tranquility that surrounds it will serve as your clear clue. My lovely offspring, please do not downplay the gravity of the sensation that is currently pulsing through your chest. That quick burst of feeling, that inner fire, that strong attraction. It's not arbitrary. It is an awakening of your spirit to the reality. It was expected with patience. You weren't overlooked. You were not disregarded. You were not denied. You were safeguarded. A critical distinction exists. You were not detained to undergo anguish. Rather, you were held back to be delivered at the right time. In order to prevent any individual from claiming credit. And now the designated hour has arrived. It is now openly declared on your behalf what was said in paradise before your birth. You are about to experience something genuinely extraordinary. Its celestial origins will be impossible to deny due to its careful workmanship. The season of simple survival is coming to an end. The season of abundant excess has begun. All of this began with the affirmation of your emotions. Indeed, you were ignorant that this time was special. However, God was aware. The payoff is now inexorable. My lovely offspring, what I deliver to you is no longer just a message. This is a divine affirmation filled with urgency. You have successfully navigated through turbulent conditions that attempted to alter your fundamental identity. You were subjected to whispered comments made behind your back, postponements that led you to distrust everything, and silent struggles for which no one expressed gratitude. Nevertheless, you persisted. You persisted in your prayers. You maintained your optimism. In light of this, the key moment you just experienced has occurred. Whether it was a decision to forgive, a prayer spoken via weeping, alternatively, make a silent surrender motion. It was so precious that even God leaned forward. In that instance, an ancient object was shattered. I witnessed it. I saw a veil in the spiritual realm being torn away. I noticed the rescheduling of timelines. I witnessed generational curses that had once bound lineages shatter and fall to the ground. Your acts have forced the sky to move. Your affirmative response has brought the miracle to an end. And now, my beloved, you must not consider your past in order to determine your future. Your history is inextricably linked to the present. My lovely offspring, remember the following while you digest these words. Something that had been dormant within you is being reawakened. Something that has been dormant for an extended period of time. It is your divine intuition, your internal compass, connecting with the voice of God. That internal prompt, the one who earlier murmured goals that you had ignored, is currently in the process of taking shape within you. However, it will not be suppressed at this time. This time, the root will not disappear before your eyes. As a result of your recent demonstration of obedience, we are convinced that you are prepared for the blessing. This blessing is more than just a source of pleasure. It is of great significance. It conveys authority. It causes acceleration. Additionally, it garners attention. Individuals will commence to scrutinize you, perplexed as to how and why. It appears that everything is working in your favor. Unfortunately, you'll realize it was never unexpected. It was otherworldly. Nobody else saw it coming. However, heaven triumphed. Your name is no longer in anticipation. It is currently in a state of release. My lovely offspring, do not underestimate the scope of the upcoming event. Simply said, you cannot perceive it right now. The most profound advances frequently occur in subtle ways. They do not always announce their presence with electricity. They arrive in a state of deep tranquility. However, do not confuse peace with insignificance. This tranquility is rife with influence. It is the type of tranquility that paves the way for transformation. Prior to the manifestation, currently, the Spirit of God is quietly orchestrating events in the background. The individuals who caused you distress are currently experiencing the repercussions of their own actions. The people who abandoned you are finally understanding the huge loss they have experienced. Furthermore, possibilities you thought had vanished are being revived in your honor. The miracle has already been performed. The only reason you haven't seen it yet is because heaven is preparing the route before it reaches you. Furthermore, it will arrive on time. It will not be small. It will go beyond your expectations. Arrive ahead of schedule. Be more than your imagination can fathom. My lovely offspring, you have been burdened by invisibility wounds. You have mastered the ability to skillfully conceal the deep wounds that lie within your psyche to the point where you have forgotten their existence. However, Paradise did not forget. Every tear was precisely recorded by God. Additionally, when you reached that divine decision, after you mustered the fortitude to recover your faith, when you once again allowed your emotions to flow, even though you were quivering, you obeyed. Heaven declared that this was sufficient. Restoration began at that very moment. That was the moment I was dispatched, not simply to provide solace, Nonetheless, make a huge announcement. This isn't just a form of recovery. It is a state of complete integration. This is not merely another chapter. It is a completely novel publication. This isn't just a recovery. The turnaround is remarkable. You will not return to the point at which you commenced your voyage. You will not take the weight of previous humiliation into this new season. I am now giving you a sword of illumination. A spiritual authority having the ability to communicate and discern. Subsequently, navigate doors that cannot be closed. Additionally, upon entering this subsequent phase of your voyage, you'll know why it took so long. You weren't experiencing any delays. You were being turned into an unstoppable force. EPR, my offspring, my cherished. There is a concept that you have not yet completely comprehended. You remain obedient even while you are silent. Made the sky echo with pleasure. You may have believed that no one witnessed the event. You choose harmony over retribution. Love wins over resentment. Faith prevails over anxiety. However, it was observed by God. I witnessed it. Furthermore, what your physical senses failed to notice. It sounded like a triumphal trumpet in paradise. The ghost loudly announced your name. The disturbance it caused is gradually developing into a powerful wave. And this wave takes with it the answers you thought were forever lost. You felt that certain resources were permanently extinct, and the relationships you suspected were irreversibly damaged. The entirety of it is returning. However, this time, the arrangement was stunning. In addition, the pace may exceed your expectations. As a result, I have been deployed to issue you a warning. To avoid returning to the mindset of delay. You are not the same individual as you were yesterday. Your recent deed has triggered an endless phenomena. Furthermore, this marvel does not anticipate your achievement of perfection. Only your presence is required for it to proceed. My offspring, my cherished. I must have your full attention to this matter. Falsehood was your conviction for an extremely long time. You had to work harder to be fortunate. However, the reality is, heaven does not acknowledge your diligent efforts. This is in reaction to your alignment. And at the moment, your essence is in perfect harmony. This is why everything starts to quake. That is why certain people are being prevented from your path. That is why the opportunities that you previously rejected are now available to you. I will immediately begin the process of locating you. They will be unable to comprehend the rationale behind it. This is because your spirit has recently received heavenly clearance. At this point, I also need to express myself clearly. Angels are now allocated to your specific situation. They are in charge of stuff that you are not even aware of. Doors are opening in locations that you have never even visited. Also, the rationale for the current occurrence. Do you believe you have successfully undergone a divine examination? The information was not given on paper. It was a psychological examination. It was evaluated by the heavens. And it was approved by heaven. Favor now will guide you to a location that diligent effort has never been able to reach. You no longer face a solitary struggle. You are traversing in the company of a divine army. My offspring. My cherished. Even now, I am aware of the tears you have yet to release. The constant sorrow that pervades your being. The overwhelming sensation of not being remembered. However, pay careful attention to my words. Heaven didn't forget. Heaven was anxiously waiting. Because if your miracle had come earlier, you would have been satisfied with a lower alternative. You would have forfeited it. However, it is the present day. You are now ready to transport it. You're prepared to bear the impending strain, not solely the blessing. However, the accountability, the impact, the legacy. God is not simply bestowing benefits on you. He is granting you power, power of the Spirit, the ability to break a chain, the ability to transform generations, the power to restore peace in places that were before the source of your deepest suffering. This is why the adversary engaged in such a heated war with you. This is the reason you were selected. Your future was predicted by darkness. However, the chains were severed. It is too late to stop the spread of what has already been distributed. My offspring. My cherished. It is critical that you understand a sacred truth. Your name is currently associated with a divine urgency. The recent spiritual happenings were noteworthy. A great tempest of light smashed the strongholds. That has been set up against you for quite some time. Furthermore, this is the most astonishing feature. You were unaware of your actual potential. But the moment you opted for love over dread, pride should be prioritized over compassion, in favor of obedience over convenience. Heaven reacted. The action you took. Indeed, the heart of God was so precisely aligned with that particular one. He did not postpone. He sent me both a message and a marvel. The newly opened portal cannot remain unclaimed. You must take the initiative at this time, not tomorrow. Not until you are entirely prepared. However, the phase of indecision has ended. This is a time of divine transaction for you. Indicate it in the comments. My divine transaction has been launched. Take advantage of this opportunity without hesitation and see how the sky react. What lies beyond this message is not merely unusual. It is an event that occurs only once in a lifetime. My offspring. My cherished. The enemy had anticipated that you would overlook this information. He hoped you'd question its validity. Ignore it as a mere coincidence. Reduce its significance. In the end, it is completely overlooked. However, your consciousness already knows the truth. There is a tingling in your breasts that is beyond reasonable comprehension. This message was transmitted with precise intention, as confirmed by the Spirit. Your most recent spiritual act has captured heaven's attention in an extremely unique way. In the eyes of the world, it was not grand. However, it was sacred. And what is holy is always honored in paradise. I am giving you with this information in the most concise manner feasible. That you are on the verge of an experience that no one in your family has ever had. This is not just a miracle. This symbolizes a massive shift. A total reversal of all the circumstances that were working against you. The divine reorganization of what was previously fractured. You will not revert to the former condition of affairs. It is not permitted by God. This benediction acts as a precaution. It will provide you with protection. I will promote you and suppress the voices that questioned your destiny. My offspring. My cherished. The enemy had anticipated that you would overlook this information. He hoped you'd question its validity. Ignore it as a mere coincidence. Reduce its significance. In the end, it is completely overlooked. However, your consciousness already knows the truth. There is a tingling in your breasts that is beyond reasonable comprehension. This message was transmitted with precise intention, as confirmed by the Spirit. Your most recent spiritual act has captured heaven's attention in an extremely unique way. In the eyes of the world, it was not grand. However, it was sacred. And what is holy is always honored in paradise. I am giving you with this information in the most concise manner feasible, that you are on the verge of an experience that no one in your family has ever had. This is not just a miracle. This symbolizes a massive shift, a total reversal of all the circumstances that were working against you, the divine reorganization of what was previously fractured. You will not revert to the former condition of affairs. It is not permitted by God. This benediction acts as a precaution. It will provide you with protection. I will promote you and suppress the voices that questioned your destiny. My offspring, my cherished. Unrolling a scroll in the spirit world. Your name is also written at the very top of the item. It is not just a name. It is a signature that confirms your readiness, obedience, and alignment. I witnessed the skies seal it with light and fire. The moment the seal was applied, each entity assigned to block you has been removed. The promise began to shake every spiritual barrier that separated you. Also, the manifestation is currently being directed as I speak. You are about to get convincing proof that God has never forgotten you. This section is really important. Please avoid from postponing. Please do not dismiss this subject. Do not allow uncertainty to dominate your thoughts. The spiritual realm will come to a standstill if you hesitate. However, if you continue to move forward with faith, everything will accelerate. Time has already been redeemed for you. What would have required 10 years to complete will now be completed in 10 days. This alignment has such a significant impact. This is why you have received this message at this time. It had to. My offspring. My cherished. I require your understanding that this is not just another letter. It is a visceral response to a precious thing. You just triggered it without fully understanding its deep significance. Heaven is ready to publicly thank you for your recent covert acts. You recently made a decision. Something you were not recognized for. Something that you yourself questioned as having any influence. However, it had a profound impact on the spiritual sphere. God did not simply observe. He took decisive action. He also sent me, Archangel Michael, to ensure that you are aware of the poisons that have been brought into your atmosphere. At present, angels are entrusted with the responsibility of transporting divine instructions throughout your surroundings. I appreciate that this is improbable. However, the facts are as follows. You are no longer where you think you are. You have advanced in the spiritual realm. The file has been reopened. Your case has been escalated. Your name has already been declared as a breakthrough. My offspring. My cherished. It is critical that I communicate efficiently. Additionally, there is an immediate need for action. You recently came close to giving in. You were about to give up everything you'd been praying for. The darkness whispered to you that it was all in vain. It is possible that you were overlooked. It's possible God ignored your name. However, you were unaware that angels were surrounding you at the exact same instant when you were at your lowest. They were supporting the weight you were unable to bear. They were weeping with you. They were opposing the forces attempting to silence your destiny. It's time for the most startling portion. The exact thing that appeared to be your biggest loss was the beginning of your miracle. That sorrow. That's betrayal. That was a rejection. It didn't destroy you. You were planted by it. And right now, God is directing a harvest. Additionally, this harvest is unlike any that you have previously observed. It is not diminutive. It is not postponed. It is approaching with enormous power and speed. And the moment your heart says yes, it will begin to blossom. My offspring, my cherished. Allow me to reveal a fact that even the world seeks to suppress. There are certain marvels that are not realized through exceptional talent or strenuous effort. However, this is only accomplished via obedience. And you, lover, have just obeyed heaven in a way that allows it to bestow benefits. Not only for yourself, but also for all those who are associated with you. This is why everything is in flux. This is why those who once overlooked you are now drawn to your brilliance. As a result, the systems that were before impeding your development are now yielding. You've accomplished an immortal feat. Additionally, I must advise you. This is not the appropriate moment to provide explanations to individuals who are unable to understand. At this point, it is critical to act with judgment and firm conviction. What God is doing in your life is not for you to justify to others. Your continued faith is the only commitment you have to heaven. Due to the fact that this forthcoming season will be incomprehensible to others. They will chalk it up to fate. They will argue that it appeared unexpectedly. However, you will understand the profound truth. It was born out of obedience. From the perspective of spiritual alignment. From a magnificent moment that changed everything. Please express your concern for my child, my cherished. I was present for the decision-making process. The sound that echoed across the heavens was audible to me. A sound made only when a child of God performs an act so pure and holy that the entire heavens stop to acknowledge it. My love, that sound also included your name. I can still hear the echo while speaking with you. You are not completely aware of the rarity of this. How few people ever reach this point. Nevertheless, you succeeded. You damaged an antique object. Falsehoods that had been pursuing you for years were subdued by you. You rewrote a narrative that was never yours to bear. Your future is currently being rewritten using heavenly ink. Light has illuminated all that lies ahead of you. Even things that used to make you feel ashamed are now a source of strength. The rain is nourishing the soil of your breakthrough, as are the silent tears you weep. This isn't just a new chapter. It is a completely novel publication. A sacred beginning. The initial word that is inscribed in it is miracle. My offspring. My cherished. I was present for the decision-making process. The sound that echoed across the heavens was audible to me. A sound made only when a child of God performs an act so pure and holy that the entire heavens stop to acknowledge it. And, my dearest, that sound carried your name. I can still hear the echo while speaking with you. You are not completely aware of the rarity of this. How few people ever reach this point. Nevertheless, you succeeded. You damaged an antique object. Falsehoods that had been pursuing you for years were subdued by you. You rewrote a narrative that was never yours to bear. Your future is currently being rewritten using heavenly ink. Light has illuminated all that lies ahead of you. Even things that used to make you feel ashamed are now a source of strength. The rain is nourishing the soil of your breakthrough, as are the silent tears you weep. This isn't just a new chapter. It is a completely novel publication. A sacred beginning. The initial word that is inscribed in it is miracle. My offspring. My cherished. I would like you to take a moment to digest this truth in silence. You did not simply advance. You displaced heaven itself. The action you took. Yes, you privately whispered. That inner resolve to re-establish trust and confidence. Its pure spirit caused a significant disruption in the atmosphere. Angels were quickly dispatched. I watched them take their positions. Some encircle your name. Individuals are responsible for your family's safety. Other people were deployed to correct the distortions that the opposition had tried to establish. You see, your obedience was not exclusively motivated by your personal miracle. It was changed into a holy key, unlocking what had been dormant for eons. You interrupted the old pattern. You embarked on a totally unique undertaking. And as a result, your existence will no longer resemble your past. Additionally, if you believe that this prophetic word is not only intended for you, however, this is for your entire network. The anointing will be activated by spreading this message at this moment. Additionally, distribute this invention to all persons affiliated with you. Please do not disguise this wonderful metamorphosis. In reality, the impending event will be quite unique. That is, you won't recognize yourself. You will, however, have this experience. You will encounter the tranquility that has been postponed. The previously hidden clarity will now be palpable. You will discover a previously unreachable provision. Because the floodgates of heaven have now opened over your life. My lovely offspring. In the divine presence of God, I witnessed the utterance of your name. Allow me to share my experience. Your spirit was encompassed by a radiant crown. No, it was not built by people. It was derived from petitions that you never shared with anyone. It was created from the times when you held back from expressing your emotions despite your desire to. It was based on situations in which you campaigned for others, even when you were in the process of fracturing. The crown is now yours. Additionally, it is a source of authority. Spiritual authority. What does this imply? It suggests that situations will alter as a result of your statement from now on. Your words will be significant in the domain of the invisible. Your prayers will have a greater influence. Your goals will begin to manifest at a rapid speed. You are no longer capable of walking as you once did. You are taking a very beneficial approach. Furthermore, this particular type of favor does not diminish. It duplicates. That is why I was ordered to ensure you do not retreat. To ensure that you do not pass up this opportunity. Because God has entrusted you with an object that must be maintained with unwavering faith. And what follows is beyond your wildest dreams, my precious kid. It is also vital that I inform you about this. A person with whom you haven't spoken in a long time is currently experiencing a heavenly stirring from the Spirit. They can't comprehend why their hearts are drawn to you so strongly. However, I will disclose the rationale. Your most recent spiritual act triggered the process of reconciliation. Relationships that you once thought were irreparable are now being restored. Not only does it promote healing, but it also reveals the truth. Secrets that have been hidden will suddenly be revealed. You will learn things you didn't know before. You will learn the details of the conversation that occurred behind closed doors. In addition, you will finally comprehend why some events occurred the way they did. However, there is no reason for alarm. It will not cause you any damage, as heaven will guarantee that only the blessings that are meant for you are revealed. Your spirit is now ready. God waited until you could accept the truth without shattering. And now, everything that was hidden is about to be exposed. However, it will not demolish you. Rather, it will crown you, my beloved child. I'd want to reveal one more riddle that only a few people understand. The most potent miracles are achieved when one ceases to beg and begins to genuinely believe. And today, something within you accomplished just that. You weren't aware you were changing, but you were. You believed, trusted, and were. Heaven reacted. This is the reason you are currently viewing this. This is why this message is so clear and addresses your emotions. As a result of your recent switch to a new domain, you've reached the point on your journey where miracles are no longer required to pursue you. It is you who traverse in them. Events that used to take years to occur now take only a few days. People who once overlooked you will now look for you. Doors that were previously fastened will now swing fully open. Most significantly, your psyche will become serene. Not a transient or conditional peace, but a divine, unyielding peace. God alone can provide this kind of peace. Currently, that is your inheritance. That is the substance that has been discharged upon you. And that is the reason I declare this with complete authority. The upcoming event is not just a blessing. My child, it is a significant payback. I am now obligated to disclose a matter that has been concealed even from your own comprehension. Heaven has withheld certain blessings from you, not as a form of retribution, but to safeguard you. Your recent silent yet precious decision was a signal to God that you were finally ready. The wait has been resolved. The vault is now being accessed. I was shown a treasure trove of spiritual illumination. A warehouse filled with petitions that had been patiently waiting for the appropriate moment to be answered. Your name was just announced. The angels moved rapidly once your spirit united and your heart let go of that weight. Heaven's hand reached into the vault and retrieved what was always legitimately yours, and I was present. However, darling, there is more than one blessing that is being temporarily withheld. This is a cascade. It entails spiritual enlightenment, relationship repair, emotional healing, and financial prosperity. God does not release partial miracles at once. He completes what he began. My child, my cherished one, the events he has triggered in your life will unfold with incredible power. I am now obligated to reveal information that has previously been hidden from your comprehension. Heaven has withheld certain blessings from you, not as a form of retribution, but to safeguard you. Your recent silent yet precious decision was a signal to God that you were finally ready. The wait has been resolved. The vault is now being accessed. In the spirit, I was shown a wealth of light, a storehouse brimming with answered pleas that had been patiently waiting until the right moment. Your name was just announced. The angels moved rapidly once your spirit united and your heart let go of that weight. Heaven's hand reached into the vault and retrieved what was always legitimately yours, and I was present. However, it was temporarily withheld. Beloved, there is no single blessing. This is a cascade. It entails spiritual enlightenment, relationship repair, emotional healing, and financial prosperity. God does not release partial miracles at once. He completes what he began. My child, my cherished one, The events he has triggered in your life will unfold with incredible power. You must comprehend that, as these words are conveyed to you, a spiritual bond is being severed across your lineage. Cycles of delay, curses of limitation, and generational pain. They're all crumbling as a result of the item you just unlocked. Furthermore, this is the most impressive feature. You executed it with confidence. You accomplished this without yet having completely comprehended the outcomes. That is the type of faith that shakes entire realms. God rewards this type of trust in such a way that the entire world takes note. I observed it occur. I saw angels rejoice in delight because of your obedience, which opened the road for not just yourself, but also your children and their children. A protecting hedge has been planted around your home, which was previously absent. Your atmosphere is now illuminated, rendering it impenetrable to darkness. You will have different sleeping patterns. My child, my cherished one, you will walk differently because the weight you have been bearing has been spiritually lifted and will not return. Currently, you may experience an unusual sense of tranquility, as if a substantial weight has abruptly dissipated. It is not the product of your imagination. It serves as confirmation. Your inner world has already been invaded by the Spirit. Your opinions are currently being rearranged. Your mood is becoming better. Your confidence is regaining power. However, this time it is originating from the Spirit, not your ego. This tranquility confirms that the spirits around you are already at work. They are drowning out the voices that used to upset you. They are diverting messages that could have caused confusion. They are preparing the way in front of you to ensure that the ground is stable and the entrances are open when you take your next steps. All of this is happening as a result of you performing a divine act that was so unusually witnessed that heaven could not remain silent. I speak with all the authority I possess at this moment. I was assigned to this site because of the significance of the upcoming benediction. You were needed to be notified. You needed to be reminded that this is a genuine situation, and it is already in motion, my dear offspring. This marvel was not created today. It was anticipating your alignment. It eagerly awaited your gaze. It was prepared prior to your birth. The anguish you went through did not render it null and void. It kept its integrity. It was not delayed by the denial you received. It safeguarded it. The isolation you experienced was not in vain. It cleansed you before transporting it. The miracle is no longer being anticipated. It is moving directly towards you. Although you may not hear footfalls, you will soon hear knocks, receive unexpected messages, seize opportunities, and engage in divine discussions. And when they occur, you must acknowledge them as incontrovertible evidence, rather than as mere coincidences. The greatest tragedy would be a miracle that was delivered, but not received. As a result, you must receive them with humility rather than mistrust. That is why I am present. This is why you're continuing to read. This is why your heart feels both heavy and light at the same time, for you are at the exact moment of divine release, and everything around you is going to change, my child, my cherished one. I want you to experience the following portion as if it were whispered directly into your mind by the sky, as it is. The events that are currently taking place in your vicinity are not merely a blessing or a breakthrough. It represents a major shift in your spiritual identity. Even if you are unable to completely perceive it, the version of you that was wounded, forgotten, afraid, and unseen is currently dissolving. The cords that ensnared your actual nature are breaking down. You are not just beginning a moment of favor. You are now in the process of carrying out your original mission, which was planned by God before your birth but was virtually veiled by layers of disappointment and pain. However, part of you refused to succumb to death. When no one else was aware that something within your soul was your divine identity, it persisted in preying, and it is now asserting itself. You will be unrecognizable to the old cycles. The spiritual authority over your life has irreversibly transformed, forcing the attacks that used to unsettle you to flee. As you go through this awakening, remember that your assistance with this endeavor is not a hoax. You are the focus of conversation throughout the establishment. They were taken aback. A check of trillions has been deposited in your name. Archangel Michael is the name of the benefactor. Archangel Michael pleads, "Beloved, if you do not open this, they will not release it." The bank executive then claims ownership of the item. Please act swiftly, my dear offspring. Kindly avoid from skipping. Please wait till the end. You are about to uncover something of great importance. Pay close attention. When you hear the following remark, your heart rate will change. Only a few hours ago, the entire bank froze. Indeed, all administrators, clerks, and managers. A check valued at trillions of dollars was issued in your name. Archangel Michael was the name of the sender. Not just any Archangel Michael. The one in charge of the gateway to destiny. The individual who only appears when your entire existence is about to undergo a significant transformation. Please stay with me, my darling offspring. The single instruction will be ignored as soon as you scroll away. The directive that will either give or withdraw this blessing. The receipt of the check set off the bank's alarms. The sum was bigger than any check they had ever processed, and it wasn't due to a threat. Archangel Michael was aware of the battles you fought alone. He was aware of the tears you withheld from others. He was aware of the prayers you said in quiet. However, there is an individual in the bank who is anticipating your error. I'm waiting for you to refrain from opening the message. Refrain from blinking. Kindly avoid from skipping. Don't pass up this opportunity. If you do not open this mail, the executive will claim it for himself. Therefore, stay to the end. Archangel Michael then spoke in a mumble. Inform them that their time has arrived. Inform them that the door that had previously been locked for an extended period of time is now open. However, they are required to remain silent until the end. The timing of this communication was perfect. At the appropriate moment for your essence to re-emerge. You are the subject of conversation throughout the establishment. There is a shift happening all around you. Something unprecedented is happening under your name. Please type Amen in the remarks section below. Prove that you are prepared for this occasion. Inform the universe that you are present and prepared to receive. Each letter you write enhances your link to the divine intervention. Kindly avoid from skipping. You are about to uncover something of great importance. The bank leaders continue to be apprehensive. I continue to address you by your given name. They are still attempting to determine how a check in the amount of trillions of dollars arrived on their desk. Archangel Michael did not transmit any wealth. He transmitted proof. Evidence that others did not ignore your misfortune. Evidence that your tranquil time was productive. Evidence that a new chapter in your story is beginning. The sender was attempted to be located by the bank. However, each system became unusable. It appeared as though an entity from above was impeding their progress. This is not an error, a preventive step. This benediction should never have been handled by anybody else. Save it till the recipient opens the message," said Archangel Michael. However, the executive, who had earlier anticipated the check with avarice, is now awaiting it. "I am anticipating your departure as you continue to scroll down." He seeks turmoil, diversion, and uncertainty. Prevent him from having that opportunity. Hold on. The sole impediment to someone else appropriating what was divinely designated for you is your presence here. Before we begin, we would appreciate it if you could share, comment, and subscribe. Your dedication forms a shield. For a brief period, a concealed line was visible during the scanning of the check. It was agreed that this would only be disclosed after the selected candidate responded. Is it true that you are the selected one? I am the individual who has been selected in the comments. Do not hesitate. This is not merely a comment. It's a declaration of your identity, the activation of the power that has been bestowed upon you. This is why things appear to be different today. The reason you thought something was drawing you to this spot. Archangel Michael prefers that you stay until the end. The activation, which is the instant at which the switch is flipped, is located in the subsequent section. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stick to me. My beloved offspring, halt your advancement. Please refrain from scrolling. Currently, a big event is underway. Every second you spend in this spot, the energy around you changes. The bank discovered a startling fact regarding the trillion-dollar check. The system presented a message it had not seen before. A prominently displayed golden emblem. The words were located close to it. Maintain your grip until the chosen one wakes up. The eldest executive in the room shook his head. He said, "No, this is not technology. This is an issue that we are unable to resolve." The lights were switched out shortly after he stated that. The vault vibrated. The document created its own output. Your name was highlighted in italics on that page. The entire establishment felt a chill. They were aware that this check was not from an individual. Destiny was the means of its arrival. The vault is expecting a signal. This is why Archangel Michael is summoning you to this spot. A message that can only be transmitted by your essence. The release code has yet to be implemented. It is awaiting acknowledgement. To hear the truth without losing focus. The bank has observed you. The universe pays attention. Archangel Michael is situated directly behind you. I'm anticipating your readiness. At this point, everything changes. From obscurity to brilliance. The bank is aware of its next course of action. They're afraid. I'm concerned because the system has just exposed a falsehood. There was no tangible deposit. The source was designated as the origin. Paradise. Is this permissible? One of them muttered. When they attempted to infiltrate the system, the vault doors locked automatically. A message was displayed on each screen in a vibrant blue hue. Unauthorized contact was detected. I expect receiving a fast response from the right parties. You are the legitimate owner. Kindly subscribe to this channel. Maintain your alignment with all the prophetic messages that have been sent to you. It's an act of faith. It maintains a connection between your essence and this divine frequency. The supervisor who planned to accept your blessing got concerned. He is aware that your argument becomes more persuasive as you continue to listen. Distribute this message. Feel free to leave a comment below and subscribe. This is not just a video. This is intended to protect you. The radiance that surrounds your destiny is only strengthened by each interaction. It undermines every individual who tries to take what was meant for you. To ensure that this divine shield envelops your blessing, simply type, Amen. The bank system detected an unknown presence code, a signature that is exclusively present in divine domains. Archangel Michael advanced, triggering the alarm. The tension decreased. The vault lit up as if it recognized its owner. You are about to uncover something of great importance. The final seal will be displayed in the sections that follow. The employees of the bank are still in a state of awe. A subtle light emanates from the trillion-dollar check now housed in the vault, as if it was currently reacting to your presence, directly in this location. Individuals were not meant to oversee this procedure. It is ready for distribution to an individual. You are that person. My precious offspring. The system is now counting down. A countdown till activation. 3 phrases were displayed on a screen within the vault. Final soul searching. The executive who attempted to defraud you has come forward. He believed he could influence the system. However, when he made contact with the scanner, a light wave drove him away immediately. The message was displayed. A spirit that was not allowed was found. Faces are invisible to the vault, which can only detect energy. Your energy is the only source of power capable of unlocking the message that Archangel Michael conveyed. Kindly avoid from skipping. A second message appeared as the countdown commenced, anticipating the intended recipient's acknowledgement. A vision was transmitted. A moment in your past when you were on the brink of giving up. That moment served as assurance that you are eligible for the blessing. The final step of the countdown has begun. The atmosphere of the chamber has undergone an entirely different transformation. The energy is far too powerful, divine, and precise for an individual to possess. One of them added, "I believe the chosen one is currently awaking." They are talking about you. The lighting in the vault is sporadic. The link becomes stronger with every second you spend in this location. Vault scanners began projecting golden symbols. They appeared to be animated as they swung about in the air. Fear engulfed the employees. The eldest executive shook his head. All lights were turned out. The vault vibrated. A notification was displayed. The carrier is examining the surroundings. Establish a connection. Being present, listening, and remaining has already proven useful to you. You have already started receiving the products that were intended for you. Noise came from the vault. A vibration that matched the rhythm of your pulse. Your pulse beats rhythmically. It was as if Archangel Michael had directly linked your consciousness to the release mechanism. The executive retreated and trembled. He said, "They are responding." They are currently receiving the contact. The vault's countdown is nearly complete. All of the lights in the establishment flicker, as if an individual is strolling through the hallways. Your orientation determines the direction in which the energy flows. According to one manager, the system seemed to be anticipating the presence of a person. The person in question is you. The symbols within the vault began to accelerate, creating the appearance of a galaxy. The check was surrounded by a ring of immaculate golden light. The executives retreated. A message was then shown by the system. The essence of the bearer has been captured. Preparing the release bridge. The bridge is being built as a result of your presence. Listening. The vault floor lit up immediately when the bridge was activated. A dazzling circle appeared. A skinny blue form appeared, a figure with radiant wings. Personnel prostrated themselves. The silhouette uttered a single word. This guy is in close proximity. It was planned that you receive that message before the end of this wonderful moment. Distribute this prophetic message. You bring this innovation to your network. The anointing is activated in your own existence. Go to the remarks section and write, "My divine bridge is forming." The celestial powers are aligned with your energy. The azure shape is now more luminous, more lucid. The personnel are feeling a rise in temperature. This energy is celestial. The vault system displayed a fresh message. The final alignment is currently under development. The bearer is required to remain at that location. When you are alert, the entire system can detect it. If you remain, you will be able to complete the bridge. Scrolling ends the procedure. The vault was lighted by a bright flash of light as the blue figure's wings spread. The figure communicated. The path of the bearer is unobstructed. Prepare for the seal. Each employee was left powerless. The scheming supervisor couldn't move. The passage of time had been suspended. The vault no longer responds. It's prepared. The glowing figure remains stationary. I look forward to receiving your response. The connection with the bearer remains robust. Right now, your presence is exactly what the divine realm needs. The trillion-dollar check is constantly in motion, floating in a bright halo over the vault floor. Celestial indicators are flashing on each screen. An attempt was made by the staff to document them. However, the cameras showed white noise. Only one message was unequivocal. Seal preparation commenced. The bearer is supposed to remain motionless. That feeling in your abdomen, the warmth coming from your palms, that's resonance. Something is becoming possible as a result of your vitality. Something neither the bank nor the public can explain. The hand of the shadow was gradually elevated. The room trembled. The illumination rose in intensity. The voice returned. Prepare the seal. The bearer is in the process of awakening. The executive was taken aback. One individual went to his knees. In answer, the vault lit up with a flare. Your name. The succeeding section contains information on the seal. What does it do? Additionally, the rationale behind Archangel Michael's selection of this particular moment. The angelic figure's radiance has become exceedingly intense. The vault looks to be made entirely of light. The check continues to float. Gradually rotate. This is no longer a verification. A single executive muttered, "A heavenly directive. If the recipient retains connectivity, the seal will function properly." The vault screen began to flicker in a manner similar to a pulse. Your pulse beats rhythmically. Your energy is being reflected by the system, syncing with your breath. Then a new line appeared. 10% of the seal sequence. 20%. 40%. The figures were increasing independently. No controls were touched. A dark executive appeared. I am excited to join. However, the celestial figure extended one hand. A huge light wave forced him into retreat. The message that appeared on the screen was edited. Interference that is not desired is prevented. The bearer link is secure. You are under monitoring. The angelic figure spoke once again. The seal's effectiveness is dependent on the bearer's awareness. Maintain your alignment. The seal sequence increased by 80%, 90%, 90%. The structure trembled. It appeared that the vault door was about to open, revealing a completely different realm. The seal sequence is currently at 99%. The executives gaze at one another, incapable of speaking or moving. What is the cause behind its failure to reach 100%? A voice murmured. Because it anticipates their coming. The system is not malfunctioning. It is ready for your arrival. Your presence here is the catalyst for its realization. The angelic figure ascends by flapping its wings. The inspection revolves at a faster rate. Is more luminous. A notice appears on the vault screen. The bearer is required to remain. That edict affected the entire bank. The executive who tried to steal your blessing ceased to move. The angelic presence murmured. Maintain your alignment. Its eyes was focused on the camera, as if looking directly at you. The vault lights went off for 1 second. When they returned, the check displayed a new symbol, an ancient seal with a golden and blue brightness. The angel extended his hand and made contact with it. The sign pulsed in the manner of a heartbeat. The vault communicated exclusively through vibrations. The seal is prepared, waiting for the bearer's completion. Please type Amen in the comments section at this time. A tremendous expression of your beliefs. This is the ultimate indication that you are ready. Before the appearance of Archangel Michael himself. It shows that your heart is responsive. Your spirit is prepared for the miracle. The seal continues to pulse at 99%, shining like a star. Every bank employee remains stationary. It is anticipating the final signal. It is imperative to maintain an equitable presence. You have that presence. Your current focus, attention, and vigor. An additional event is required. As the angel advanced, its wings are larger, illuminating the entire area. The check was oscillating between the vault and the figure. The figure then raised its hand, sending a big wave. The screens turned white. Seal according to the bearer's awareness. Archangel Michael was aware that the system had the ability to discern your spirit. Adjust the frequency to your level of preparedness. The alignment becomes more robust as the duration of your stay increases. The vault started to vibrate. Excitement rather than despair. The angelic form inclined its head, as if you were to get an order. Then it said, "The bearer hears." This person is cognizant. The seal became more luminous, sending gilded beams through the room. The selfish boss collapsed on the ground. A message was displayed within the vault. The conclusion is approaching. As the segment progresses, finally the barrier is breached. The Archangel Michael goes by. The vault is vibrating, more dazzling than ever. The gasket has been secured at 99%. Beats like a heart. Prepared for the final detonation. A director murmured, "Your spark." It is the act of observing. It's actually the sound of someone outside the room. The vault screen responded. A conduit connection exists. The heavenly figure is located beneath the check. Its wings extended with great vigor. Everything rises from the earth. The check appeared to be evaporating into a state of pure light. Suddenly, the vault displays turned black. Then a fresh message was presented. The gold seal requires the recipient's final alignment. The individual was aware. Archangel Michael was aware. He extended his paw towards the camera. He spoke one command to you. Stick to me. The murmur wasn't heard. It supplied vitality. The camera traveled through the vault, and it was brought to your attention. There is only one feeble beam of light, aimed at the exam. The seal is put next to the angel who is kneeling, places a palm on it. The seal lets off a flash of blue, gold, and white light. Everyone exhaled. Screens become distorted. The floors vibrate. The atmosphere becomes more dense, anticipating the sound of your pulsation. 99% of the value swings. 99.1%. 99.7%. The seal is gradually climbing because of its connection to you and your presence. The vault transmits one final message. The bearer must sustain communication. Kindly subscribe to this channel. This signifies that you are ready for the next prophetic commitment. Execute it promptly. Connect with this conduit of heavenly communication. The seal's luminescence is currently quite bright. Flickering happens at a rate between 99.7% and 99.9%. A commander shouted, "It is reacting to an entity that we cannot witness." The vault answered, "Verification of the bearer's presence. Your presence is the force that they can't define." As the angel ascends, his wings spread forcefully. Each ray of light slanted in his direction. The amount of the check has been reduced. Pure vigor. The vault's displays tremble, displaying ancient writings. The notification is displayed. A seal break is imminent. Maintaining the carrier's frequency. For the last time, the executive strives to build a personal relationship. A blue and white brightness catches him off guard. The divine requires no more than your affinity. The vault walls began to glimmer, gaining clarity, demonstrating the background. A huge stretch of azure. The stars are in motion. The bank was not accessible via the vault entrance, however, to an altogether different realm. The celestial figure moved to the seal. Put both palms on it. Prepare the carrier. The seal was raised. 99.9%. 99.95%. 99.99%. The energy is trembling around the perimeter. The air is palpable as it moves through your bones. The final line was transmitted by the vault. The bearer must keep a connection until the entire disclosure is completed. The vault is rumbling. The barrier is 99.99% effective. The floor has been converted into a vibrant light display. A laborer stated, "It has an enthusiastic quality." The vault answered, "Bearer connection that is extremely durable." Your connection did not cause the seal to be violated. The deity has advanced in proximity. He has stretched his wings to such an extent that the vault cannot hold him. The inspection now resembles a sphere, rotating in a manner similar to that of a miniature sun. Ancient symbols are exhibited on the screens, aligning with a cosmic mandala. You spin as you exhale. A new message is presented. The bearer's frequency is harmonious. The final breach is being prepared. The person in charge of the room has been picked. It is you. The glittering space behind the door increases, You can detect an ancient and powerful sensation. Positioned on the other side, the angel lifts both palms, molten gold-colored palms. Activate the passage. Light emanates. The vault transforms into a pure illumination source. The seal feels a surge. 99.99%. 99.995%. 99.999%. The vault issues one final warning. The bearer must remain till the entry is complete. The seal vibrates at a frequency of 99.999%. The authorities remain in a state of awe. Their irises are veiled. Something. A person is on the verge of crossing. A notice appeared on the vault's screen. Bearer detection. The final entry involves achieving stability. Your presence is that. The angel advances toward the illuminated line. He stretched his wings like a torrent of light. The spheroid is buoyant. It glows like a second sun. The ancient sigils flicker on the screens. A cosmic conduit. The notification is displayed. Prepared for passage. The bearer must keep their concentration. The executive's selfish behavior causes his downfall. Your energy is the final anchor. The shimmering doorway spreads, swirls in a galaxy-like pattern. Air vibrates. A sound that can only be understood by your spirit. The celestial figure withdraws. He lowers his wings and bowed his head. To honor a person of greater significance, the development of a massive shadow of light begins. The vault lights brighten as it passes through. The check emits a brighter glow. The vault sends a message as a greeting. The Archangel's entry is currently underway. Refrain from ending the relationship. The vault is currently lighted with pure light. There are no shadows, and the hues are gold and blue. The seal beats at a rate of 99.9999%, shaking on the brink as if a universe is awaiting. Executives are unable to exhale. They sense a holy presence approaching. The missive detonates. The Archangel's registration process is now underway. The bearer is required to remain. The angel who had been leading has now reversed course. The wings are dropped to show reverence. The sphere accelerates in his direction. Similar to a celestial headdress, the entryway extends, disclosing galaxies, blue flames. A silhouette is approaching. The staff collapses to their knees, their bodies trembling. That isn't feasible. The vault responds to a single murmur. Divine authority rules reality. Your presence is critical to the continuation of this phenomena. The atmosphere is distinct. The room is filled with a majestic feeling. A considerable presence exists at the threshold, forcing light to bend. The silhouette becomes more visible. Huge wings. Armor composed of living light. Eyes as bright as stars. The vault vibrates at a certain frequency. A frequency that is only understandable to your spirit. The notification is displayed. Archangel Michael is the name. The staff weep. The executive suffers a heart arrest. The lights are bending. Archangel Michael boosts energy with just one inhalation. As he places one foot into the vault is shaking from the divine weight. The seal ranges between 99% and 100%. I am anticipating your recognition in order to secure it. The light is exceedingly bright and pure. A command is shown in the vault. The Archangel's presence must be maintained by the carrier. This tableau is holding its breath in anticipation of your arrival. The doorway is occupied by Archangel Michael. There is a single wing within. The other reaches into the heavenly nothingness. The sphere is moving in his hand. The patterns on his armor emit light, like a planet in a state of anticipation. Divine authority symbols from antiquity. Archangel Michael enters. Metal vibrates. Papers grow in volume. Screens bend as if to acknowledge a ruler. The vault transmits a line that is brighter than any transmission. The final breach is prepared. It is essential to align the carrier. Currently, that alignment is underway. We greatly appreciate your attention to the seal. Archangel Michael spreads his palm. The brilliance that surrounded his fingertips. The passage of time appears to be sluggish. It is dense, like if it exists between two realities. The energy sphere gradually descends into his hand. Like a pledge that is prepared to be fulfilled, it is currently at rest. The personnel disintegrate. A final golden flood emerges from the vault. The seal is nearing completion. Navigate to the remarks section. Compose. I am currently obtaining my benediction. In order to complete the divine transaction, experience the finality and fortitude. This is the final key that triggers the mechanism. As you talk about it, it becomes more real. Take notes right away. Seal this divine agreement with one final act of faith, similar to the video, not just a keystroke. It implies that you have received this message in your consciousness. Your like begins a steady stream of divine favor. Please ensure that this miracle doesn't end with your death. Distribute this video to 5 people who need a breakthrough. Your obedience will initiate a series of miraculous events. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He's extending his hand. We invite you to join a community that is both secure and high-vibrating, where divine abundance is more than just a faraway ideal. However, a pledge. I am accepting this invitation instantly. You're getting instant early access. Content that is potent. In addition, divine insights. Concealed from the public eye. This is an opportunity to enter a sacred environment. The location where you'll get spiritual advice. Unwavering assistance. Also, rapid advancement toward your destiny. Do not let this wonderful moment pass. Your triumph is near. This is the only method to assure that you never miss any direct, personalized messages intended to enrich and empower your life.